Hey class, we're going to go over some steps for the Chuck Close self-portrait assignment. After you've taken a really good quality image of yourself with warm light and cool light and some high contrast shadows and whatnot, we'll get a printout of it for you. You're going to want to save a digital color copy also. So we'll have that. We have a transparency, Ancient Tech. This has got a grid on it, separated into 1 centimeter squares. And we've got our prepped board. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you what we're going to do now. You can determine if you want to center it, if you want to have a border around it later, or if you want to just go up on one edge. I'm going to kind of center mine like so. I'm just going to tack it down so it doesn't really move. Okay. I'm going to line up my transparency with my paper. The grid is slightly smaller than the paper, and that's fine. What's not okay is if it starts moving around afterwards. Line that up. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. You can freehand using the grid if you've done that before, but it's a pretty tedious process. Okay, so I've got that, and I can actually see my image underneath. And as we've done in previous assignments, we're going to go ahead and use some transfer paper. You can freehand all of this also using the grid, but it takes a lot longer. Got a ruler handy. I'm going to lift my transparency here. Okay, so as we've done in the past, we want to trace around the outside. I'm going to push my lead in on this just so I don't draw all over my reference image. The more detail you can get on this, the easier life is going to be later. Let's just make sure that it's working. Yeah, it's transferring just fine. That's why I have that flap. That's why I do that way. Notice that I'm not just doing the outlines, I'm just keeping track of anywhere that I see large differences in lights and darks. It's going to help me out big time later. Not bad. I'm going to go ahead and put down the grid over the top of this now too, because I need to mark out where the grid goes, not just my image. I'm going to start just by marking my corners. That should transfer through, yeah, onto the board. And then this grid is 19 by 25 in centimeters. We're very, very close to that. So then I'm going to do the same thing just with the edges of each of these, where I can see them, that is. Lost it there. Good. Now I'm really done with those other parts. I didn't have to trace over the acetate everywhere, because now I have marks to show me where all those grids are supposed to meet up. Using a ruler, of course. By the time I'm done with this, I'll have a grid on my board with a sketch of where my portrait goes. It corresponds to my printout with the grid on it. And that's super important because we're going to break down this painting into individual squares. We're going to be looking at high detail at every single square centimeter, in this case, of your face. So I'll go that way, and then we'll do the same thing this way. And so forth.